Okay, I'm with Tammy VanDonk, Executive Vice President, Sales America and EMEA. Is that correct? Okay.
That's correct,
Oh,
Brian.
okay. Make sure we get it right on the video. Yeah, thanks for joining me. I appreciate it. Oh, I should say at Fender. I definitely missed that one. Boy, I got to do better than that. Sorry. Yeah, I mean, I guess first, and thank you for joining us. I really appreciate it. What are you hearing from your retail partners and in your communications with them right now during these difficult times?
Yeah. Brian, thanks for wanting to connect here. So appreciate it. It's good to see you. It seems like it was forever since we were at Winter NAMM,
Yeah.
although it actually wasn't that long ago. Um, Brian, with our retailers, I think that's a great question. We're hearing concern, of course, particularly from our retailers that have brick and mortar stores. Um, we're seeing a lot of them impacted and not able to have foot traffic in. But we're also hearing optimism from the omni-channel retailers and the retailers that are doing most of their business online. So as you can imagine, as they're trying to look and shift with their business being online, they're trying to react to that. So um, that's encouraging that they have consumers and they're able to connect with their local community even and get some business through online. One of the things we're hearing, which I don't think is would be any surprise, is we're hearing entry-level products. So if you think about entry-level electrics that are doing really well, and also acoustics as a general category is doing really well. I think during this time when people are at home, they're looking to see what they can do to stay engaged. And maybe they used to play guitar and they want to start again. So they're reaching out and trying to pick it up, or maybe their kids. There's a lot of school kids that are at home right now reaching out. So we're encouraged there. We're seeing a lot of that business through pretty much every channel. Um, but on the higher side, which is also encouraging, is our custom shop sales. It's been interesting to watch. I think people at home, consumers at home, they're discovering more online and they're able to find more of our retail partners that are our custom shop retailers. And they're finding a product that maybe they weren't able to find in their local stores. So they're reaching out more. And custom shop has been a pretty big category for us with our retailers right now. So that's encouraging as well. It's just difficult all the way around, just trying to, the information is changing daily and hourly, and trying to work with our retailers in the best that we can.
Yeah, thanks for that great information. And yeah, your original point, I can't believe it was only 2.5 months ago that I was standing with you on the podium in your booth, handing you an award. It's like how much has changed since then. It's just is amazing. I can't believe this is maybe the longest year ever in like the history of time. It seems like, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I want to ask you, is there any other details you could provide for the retailers and how you're helping them get through this crisis?
Brian, our sales force, so we're, I guess, a little more background. Our Scottsdale team, our support teams, everyone's working from home, as you would imagine, and so is our Hollywood team. Well, our sales team in the field, they've always been at home and they're working directly with dealers. So that is continuing, and we're reaching out on a daily basis or as much as we can to see what we can do to help. An example of where I think we're offering maybe some solutions that can help turn inventory into cash for them is we're looking to see how well we can ship direct to consumer for them. So for example, there was a lot of product that we sold at Winter NAMM and a lot of dealers took pre-orders for some of the product. The Acoustasonic Stratocaster, for example, that was a big launch for us at NAMM. So now as we have them coming out of the factory, rather than shipping to a retailer that might have to go into a store to open the back room to be able to accept it, we're working with them to see what we can do to ship it directly to their consumer if they had a pre-sold product. So and the same would go with any back orders that we have coming out of the factory. We're still operational in our distribution center in San Bernardino, California, and we're still getting product from our factories. And just like everyone else, the information changes hourly, daily, and we're abiding by everything we can to make sure everyone's safe. But as long as we can ship product then for our retailers, and we absolutely will. There is a function that we're launching tomorrow that I'm excited about. We thought this could be a good way to help our retail partners. We have, it's kind of I would describe it a collaboration between our dealer portal and our dealer locator on our website on Fender.com. We added 2 new toggles to our dealer portal where a dealer can go in and they can tell us through the portal if they're open for foot traffic, then they can toggle yes. So if they're open, then that's great for their local community to know. And then the second toggle, so you can say yes or no there. And the second toggle is, can they do web or phone orders? We're hearing some of the retailers are doing curbside pickup. So we wanted to find a way that we could message if a consumer was going to our site to look for and using the dealer locator, what could we message them and what could a dealer have control over? And they can go into the dealer portal as often as they want to change those, depending on what's happening in their community, to change those toggles. So I think it's a great way that we can help them communicate to customer wanting to find out how they can buy and shop with them. So that's good.
Yeah, that's a great resource. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, maybe you're in a good spot in Scottsdale. I've been hearing rumors every baseball team might end up there. So
yeah,
that's support.
Well, I did leave Hollywood when we closed and everyone started working from home. I have a home in Scottsdale, and so I decided that I could head out to the desert and I can work remotely here in Scottsdale.
Right. Well, it's beautiful land. I've been there a couple of times. So yeah, one thing I really wanted to know is we're really in uncharted territory here with there's a bunch of events that were canceled, but of course, unfortunately, but a big one here is Summer NAMM. That was just announced a couple days ago. So what's your approach with that? Are you going to still be launching a bunch of products in the summer, or do you kind of take a different approach that you wait until later in the year to do that sort of thing? I mean, I don't know how companies are going to handle this because it's totally different. So what are your thoughts on it?
Right. Yeah, Brian, it is. I can imagine it was a difficult decision to make. So totally can understand making it. I think it's going to take a while to build the confidence of people going back to large crowds again. So I totally can respect the need to cancel that. But equally, I think our retailers are looking for us to help recover and help them with maybe not as high as what they had expected at the start of this year for Q4, but definitely help their business in Q4. So we still are on track with launching new products in the second half of the year. We just know we're not going to be able to do them at Summer NAMM. I'm hearing this from a lot of companies now, and we've been working on this. So we actually decided that this potentially might be the course. So we had started working this a while back. It seems like probably 3 weeks ago. It's time just so long.
Every week seems like a year, yes.
Yeah, it does. But we're working on a virtual or a live stream meeting that we can have with our second half product launch. It's kind of interesting. It's not unique because you see Apple, you see different companies that do this, which I think they do it very well. So we're looking to see if we can get some type of a live stream meeting, and then some component of that being video, maybe like we haven't perhaps done with product launches in the past. But we'll do that sometime perhaps early August. So we're getting there might be a few products that will go out to our network before then, but not really our big launches that we would expect to introduce until we do this live stream or this virtual dealer event.
Got it. Okay. Okay. Yeah, makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, lastly, I wanted to ask you, I mean, you did a great thing. I mean, you're doing some great things for the your consumers and users and your retailers. But tell me about the free months you had of Fender Play. What's going on with that? I mean, that seems fantastic.
It certainly is, Brian. It's getting a lot of attention. We're extremely excited about that. If you think about, even again going back just 3 weeks ago, we were all sitting in this trying to figure out, we're all in this together. And I think that was a great entry or introduction to what this 3-month trial is. We're in this together. We thought this would be a great way to engage new players, to engage kids, to engage whoever might be sitting at home and thinking about, wow, what a great way to pick up an instrument. And since I have to be home anyway, let me go ahead and get engaged here with it's guitar, bass, ukulele. So we thought when we launched it, we first announced 100,000 3-month free trials. We passed that in 3 days. Just yesterday, we passed 600,000. And now we're looking at, we did a press release this morning where we're going to go for 1 million. And it's because we're 3 weeks into this now. And how do we look at, or for us being shelter at home with much of the country, is how can we keep that going and keep them engaged? I believe this is going to support us in a really great way as we come out of this COVID-19 situation, and we're able to help drive traffic back to our retailers. One, these are consumers that many of them are going to be looking to buy the guitar. They've got the lessons, now what's next? So let me go online and buy a guitar. And I think that's part of why we're seeing acoustics doing so well and entry-level electrics doing so well. We think we're reaching new consumers. So with this 3-month trial, that'll keep them engaged. And then when we start to come out of this, we're hoping that as we see them staying connected, we believe we're developing lifelong learners. And again, those are the people that do really well with our retail partners, and that is what will drive hardware sales as we go through the second half of the year. So we're super excited about it.
Okay, great. Well, thank you for everything. That's some tremendous stuff. And Tammy, thank you so much for the interview. I really appreciate it. I think this going to get some great information out there, and stay safe. That's the #1 thing. Okay.
Brian, you too. I wish you well, and absolutely stay safe. And for everyone out there, please stay safe. And we look forward to seeing you again.